Hello and welcome back to Kelly 60 Plays. I'm Alex, and today we are playing a new playthrough. An old playthrough. So, this came out, we're playing Metroid Prime Remastered. So, it's Prime 1 again. I know, I've played this game one too many times. However, we are going to finally be redoing the original run that I did on this channel in actual part form. So, only difference is it's going to be much nicer, and the other reason is there are too many skips that we can't do because, well, the remastered on Nintendo Switch is based off the New Game Plus and Trilogy versions of the game. So, not every, yep, that's about right. We don't need any of those. But this version also has a couple things that were not here in the States at all, even for the trilogy version, as far as I'm aware. Which are, as you saw, the narration. The narration is partial, which was European. I think it's only a couple of the names for areas and whatnot, or B, you'd get it fully like the Japanese version. It was originally recorded for the NTSU, and then it was scrapped. And you may notice, controls. I will be playing with the classic controls of the GameCube release. Why? I actually already tried playing the game. And I had to say, the dual stick sucks. Personally, because I've been playing this game with GameCube controls for a decade plus now. At this point. Trying to use the dual stick is a little too touchy. However, if you want to, you can play it similarly to Wii with pointers, or do a mixture of the okay. I didn't. You know what? I'm gonna do the hybrid one, because this is the classic control scheme. But if I want to, I can name with gyrotically using the gyro control. I'll test it out. I might not like it, but it's technically still classic. And if I don't move the controller, it doesn't mean much. Which is probably designed for if you're using the Pro controller. Nope, I am using a Pro controller because the GameCube controller does not work for this at the time of this recording session. Because the Pro controller obviously has more buttons, they put map to the plus button. You can change it to be similar to the classic controls on the upper right of the controller, to the upper right shoulder, like it was. However, it still allows you to hit plus for the map, while minus is start, thus actually pausing the game. The GameCube release, GameCube controller only has one center button, and that is what would be the plus button. And the GameCube controller cannot be remapped. So, yeah.
Cosmos. In the vast universe, the history of humanity is but a flash of light from a lone star. The a single person should be lost in space and time. But among the stars, there is one light that burns brighter than all others. The light of Samus Aran. Her battles extend beyond her life and etch themselves into history. Here, another chapter of that history will be written.
So the narration, at least for this one, is actually partially used in one NTSU media. And I think that's Brawl. The Brawl version of the Prime menu feed has part of the narration, if I remember correctly. And that's probably the only narration we'll be having. I don't need it. So sorry for all the menu talk and whatnot. We're finally gonna get started. Because there are a number of other things that are different between the older NTSU and what would be this game. One, polygon counts. Polygons and all others. Sound, narration. One. Hang on. Okay, never mind. For some reason, I swapped the scan visor for some ungodly reason. You can still scan this from all the way out here. It will now warp you into this spot for the cutscene. One major one. Buttons are as close to the original as possible, since the GameCube controller is different to this one, which is X is missile rather than Y, while Y is morph ball instead of the other way around. And similarly, this is once again 100%. I'm going for everything because part of the logbook here is that you can technically beat the game and then New Game Plus it. Oh, another difference. These differences are apparent here. Or it is the fact that the charge beam now requires 3 shots out of the arm cannon. Some people some people I've watched seem to have issues with that. I don't necessarily care. I have yet to come across something. It's just the muscle memory, it's all. Muscle memory and timing is off for me a little. But it's not that bad. And as you noted, can be denoted, the spring ball from Prime Korean Trilogy is here, so we're gonna have some fun. That's the other issue with the game, the control. If you use a GameCube controller, you're not gonna have access to that. Also, the pirates have a makeover for right here. Nope. Oh, I should have grabbed that. Well, there's a guaranteed set before the things. Man, these holding chambers are great. The hopper data looked nice too. But among other things, these are all graphically overhauled. So a lot of the graphics are no longer have to remember to get the logbooks of these things. A lot of the light particle effects have been really much overhauled, as well as a lot of the... Sorry, buddy. I see bites to the head. So, the biggest difference is most of the flat textures of the GameCube release are now fully rendered. That is the biggest difference between this and the OG and Trilogy, which just changed lighting effect. So did some small lighting effects because I think the Wii had a different lighting engine. But one thing that this version has that the original has that Trilogy does not is as you charge the beam weapons will have an effect on the back end, which was taken out for a Trilogy and I think New Game Plus because of the random movements of the arm cannon to the arm cannon being the Wiimote. Struggled to get through this door. No. Thank you. Getting stuck here. It's first part, so I was expecting to go over the time I had set for this anyways. We're only doing the save now just to be safe. And some animations are definitely better. Samus's walking animation here is a lot more focused, as it were. I'm already expecting something here. I'm gonna be on guard. Other difference you may have noticed, and this is part of the updates since NTSU. You can't do a dash dodge while in scan visor. But you can still do this. Dan. Yeah. So this is something I go over in the NTSU playthroughs that I've done, but you can still do any of the missile to power beam strats to just rapid fire missile.
Evacuate immediately. Evacuate immediately. Evacuate immediately.
But as I was going on before, you can no longer dash while in scan visor, so bosses are a little more difficult to get their scan. That is probably an oversight for what happened in NTSU OG, because obviously that allowed you to do the scan and jump glitch. which I believe a developer talked about. Because of how the game is layered, it sequence breaks could actually crash the game. Most people just got lucky. And while Trilogy and other regions wouldn't have had much because technically disc games don't have less of a chance of breaking the system should they crash the system. It was probably a thing. Hey, people could potentially brick their GameCubes. Let's remove it for all future releases. And since this version is a cartridge, there is a probably higher likelihood. And yes, there are people on the internet that complain still. Trying to go a little faster, but it's not like this version's super. Up, nope, down. Here you actually want to change. And this definitely has this hallway in general has a lot more detail. Too bad you don't really have time unless you want to get crushed. No, here's the room that you need to be in. Oh, hello, Ridley. How are you doing? Yep, there's Ridley. And talk about one of the biggest makeovers in this remaster. You can actually tell the difference in every spot. His eyes are not actually glowing orange. They are actually LED lights behind a piece of glass. You can also see the inside of the arm cannon in this version. It is a great remaster. Technically, and this is even better. Concentration broke. Physical amnesia happened. Thank you, Dread, for actually giving us an idea of what happened there. So, this way. Should be it. Nope. To the back. Hang on. It's the same room, though. However, I think the reason you need a charge shot now, we'll go over this next part. All right. There's a reason I think they made the change to the charge shot issue, which I think is is a slight quality of life update, because I don't think it was a part of Trilogy. All these floating space pirates, the heat portion on the actual frigate. Yeah, this game looks amazing. This port looks amazing. It's easy to get lost, apparently. And I'm sorry if I'm gushing over the game too much. The only thing that this port actually does better than the Xenoblade Definitive Edition. The plants actually move. There is wind. Because actually, I think the Xenoblade, the Definitive Edition port of Xenoblade 1 is, I think, the next best one. Port. that isn't like third party. Because there's been some very good third party ports. Oh, the next has always been as long. Most people just think it isn't because of the backing. But anyways, that is going to be it for this part. Next time we meet, sorry for the webcam. Once more. But, once next time we meet, we shall be starting our trek once more on Tallon IV. So thank you all so very much, for joining me this wonderful Wednesday. There is going to be a, Scarlet and Violet stream later today. We shall be dealing with the last two things I had to do in that game of the main story before going into endgame. The last battle of the game. So I hope you enjoy that thing. But anyways, thank you all so very much for stopping by and watching with me play my favorite Metroid game. And I shall see you all next time. Bye!